It will be divisive, but we're open to that. We're open to people having different opinions on it. We didn't really put it in there to shock anyone, but we did put it in there knowing that it was something that most people won't have seen before, and knowing that it's something that might test people's boundaries a little bit. We don't want to shock people, but we do think we're probably going to make them squirm a little bit, and probably, I hope that it does make them think about real life violence as well. I think that's my kind of standpoint on it. We're presenting a series of events, and even though they are fictional, I do want people to come away from it thinking about similar events like that happen in real life for some people. So
yeah, I don't think the film would work as well as we wanted to if the effects didn't look real. I think it would take quite a lot away from it, and I think it's quite a real film, like you said. You want people to walk away from it thinking about some of these things that might happen in real life, and I think the practical effects play a big part in that.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to make She if we couldn't get the practical effects right. But where things are at the minute with those, I've got a lot of confidence that it's going to be great. Yeah. We knew from the start that we wanted to be very careful in our visual approach, and there was a lot of our influences that dictated that we really needed a very good cinematographer who could bring something to it that would kind of really raise the bar for a short horror film. We approached a few different people who had worked on films that we liked, or that we were inspired by the visual style of, and David Meadows, who was a cinematographer on Human Centipede 2, he got back to us, and he liked the synopsis originally, and then we sent him the script, and he was very positive about it. So we're over the moon with that, because we think, for me personally, I think the cinematography is one of the best things about Human Centipede 2. I think it's very unique, and he did it on a very small budget with pretty standard cameras, and it had a great result. We're not going black and white with She. I don't want people to get that impression just because we're referring to Human Centipede 2, but
we are going to be using a lot of very muted colours.
Definitely, yeah. We do have a lot of similar shots and lights and things that you'd see in something like Human Centipede 2. It's kind of central to both of us that we make something that looks impressive. The story is so bold, I think, that if we shot it in an average way, it just wouldn't serve it, wouldn't do it justice. I think to do the story justice and the characters, we wanted something that was really visually inspiring, and I think we're getting there with that.
Yeah, I think
it's going to work out just how we wanted.
I think the visual style that we have in mind, we definitely want it to reflect the tone of the film and the tone of the script, which is, like you said, it's not black and white, but it's kind of bleak.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I will say is that some of the prosthetics that are being made for this film, he's expressed a very keen interest to keep them himself afterwards, which is fine. So I would say I would put it to Mark to attempt to write another script where such things could be reused. Not necessarily to the same effect, but I'd like to see them included in another idea. Maybe not something that we'll shoot necessarily, but I'd like to see what you can come up with in terms of other stories that include those prosthetics.
Really?
Yeah. Although that might be a bit too dark, you don't know how dark this guy can get. That might be too much even for me. Maybe.
I'll see what I can do. Man up.
Yeah.
She thinks she's pretty twisted, but we're making this film together, and she's, well, she's a bit of a girl.
Yeah,
I think she needs
that's not true.
I think she needs to open her mind a little bit to some of the stuff that I want to show her.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. I will openly admit that in terms of extreme films, Mark has seen a lot that I haven't. But I would also add that there are some things included in that list that I don't ever have any intention of seeing. So
But she will.
He seems to think that I will. Maybe I do need to man up. Maybe I do need to watch some more shocking films. But yeah, again, it comes back to that definition of horror, doesn't it? And things that people are horrified by. So
Got to face your fears.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. I need to face my fears. Maybe. In a horror film, okay. There's a few that that I would think of. I don't know. What's the hottest sex scene in a horror movie?
Hottest sex scene in a horror film, I would have to say, Irreversible. Dear God, I'm joking. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I recently saw Angel Heart, and that was pretty hot, even though it was kind of difficult to watch it and not think of current era Mickey Rourke. But yeah, it was kind of hot.
See, now I'm just...
Spit in your grave.
I can't particularly think of any sex scenes in horror films that are really jumping out at me. Although there are lots. In terms of hottest couples in a horror film, even though you never see them having sex or doing anything of that nature, I think the... no, actually, no, I can't say that. Never mind.
Antichrist is pretty hot.
Yeah, well... Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question. I can't think of anything.